Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Drop, and this is my review of the Rigorer AR Future. So this is Austin Reaves' signature shoe, but kind of not, you know what I mean? So this is his signature shoe. This is the AR1, which is an amazing shoe, really nice performer, and it retails for $100, which is an amazing price for how good of a performer the shoe is. And it's a really great, supportive, very responsive guard shoe, right? But then we have this shoe. This is the AR Future and it's supposed to be his casual shoe, but of course it looks very similar because it's literally using the same exact outsole and midsole as the AR1, right? But the price is even better. It retails for 80 bucks, guys, which is absolutely insane. You know what I mean? So I really love the price point that Rigorer is giving us for the shoe. 80 bucks is kind of insane. Like, you don't see any shoes at that price, especially like the quality of the shoes pretty dang nice. And like I said, the AR1 was a really nice performer too. But yeah, this is the black colorway. There are also 3 other colorways. We have a white one, a beige one, and a gray one. So if you guys do want to cop, I'll try to leave an affiliate link in the description box. But let's get it started right off with the tracciones, right? So right when I first got these, I put these on foot and tried the traction out because the regular AR1 has top tier traction, and I have a good amount of colorways, and all of them, literally whatever color the outsole is, if it's translucent, no, translucent does pick up a little bit of dust, but whatever color it is, it has really good traction on a clean court and picks up very minimal dust. The translucent one has really good traction on a clean court, but did pick up dust, right? So I put these on, and literally it's the same exact outsole pattern, and the rubber seems pretty much the exact same. However, it doesn't squeak really at all, right? Or like when I first got it. And of course I filmed it, and then I did the squeak test, and it has 0 squeak. But then I started walking around in them a little bit more and started to squeak a little bit more. So maybe they changed up the rubber compound a little bit, which it doesn't really matter honestly because it is a casual shoe. So also another thing is that with the AR1, I didn't really have to break it in. It was good right out the box, and it was squeaky right out the box. With the AR Future, not really, which again, it doesn't matter because it is a casual shoe. If you want to hoop in it, we'll get into that. You probably shouldn't, but the traction seems like it has a good bite. And also for durability, it seems pretty good. The rubber is on the harder side of things, and there is a lot of surface area. There's a lot of rubber here. So yeah, I mean, for casual use, you should be fine because it is using a rubber. You know what I mean? Like for example, in like most slides, usually a lot of people like to wear Crocs or whatever. It's just foam, and then foam isn't super durable. So if you're gonna be wearing it outside, it does wear out very quickly. But with this, you have a full-on rubber outsole, and the rubber is pretty hard, so durability should be fine. Also, we have this oval-shaped TPU piece in the middle of the outsole. But yeah, as far as the heel-to-toe transition goes, it is kind of important to me personally when I'm just casually walking around as well, because I don't really like super clunky boot-like shoes. You know what I mean? I do wear boots sometimes, but it's clunky and it's kind of uncomfortable, especially coming from like a running shoe or like a sneaker, you know what I mean, or like a workout shoe. So yeah, in the AR Future, it's literally the exact same as the AR1, right? So here in the heel, we have a rounded shape, and this foam is actually a kind of soft. There is a little bit of give, there is a little bit of compression, although it is pretty caged with this plastic piece. So here in the heel, when you're doing like kind of heel dominant strides, not jogging obviously, just walking, it's pretty smooth in the heel. And then coming here into the forefoot, we have a nice curve shape as well, and we have a good amount of forefoot flex and also midfoot flex. Look at that. So it's just a smoother feeling shoe for the AR Future because it is a casual shoe. Obviously for the AR1, it's a lot stiffer because you need a little bit more torsion support when you're playing basketball and all that. But for a casual shoe, you don't really need it as much, and it just feels a little bit smoother for heel to toe transition. And now moving on to the cushioning setup. So the cushioning setup is pretty much the exact same. However, it does feel a little bit different to me, right? So they literally say it's the same exact outsole and midsole as the AR1. But as you guys can tell, it's not, because first of all, it's not as stiff as the AR1. So maybe I'm guessing they used a softer foam, because also when I'm feeling the AR1 foam and just feeling it with my finger, it's a little bit stiffer than the AR Future. The AR Future is actually quite soft. to the touch. And also there seems to be a little bit more compression here in the heel. So maybe it's placebo, I don't know. They are saying it is the same as the AR1 for the foam, but it just feels a little bit softer to me, right? But also, of course, core feels pretty much the exact same. Also, the insole is pretty much the exact same. It's actually kind of thick, so you do get a little bit of step-in comfort from the insole. Of course, as you guys all know, insoles aren't super nice and they do bottom up pretty quickly. But underneath the insole, it is different, right? So in the AR1, we do have a soft mesh strobo board. However, even though it is a soft mesh strobo board, the foam isn't super soft, you know what I mean? Like, for example, the All City 12 Encore, the DVD2 SE, I don't know, the Kai 1, the Zap 2, they all have a soft mesh strobo board, but also the foam is extremely soft with like either the N2 foam or the Quick CQ Tech foam. It's really, really soft. But in the AR1, the foam is actually, I believe it was just an EVA, so it's quite stiff. Right? So it's not even that soft. It's better than if they were using a stiff strobo board and a stiff foam. So it's a little bit better than that, but step-in comfort, not super nice, right? But in the AR Future, they are using a regular strobo board, and it's a little bit stiffer, obviously, than a soft mesh strobo board. However, the foam is a little bit softer for step-in comfort. So it's around the same for step-in comfort. So it's not amazing if you're just walking around, and it's not super plush. However, I do like how there's a little bit of compression from the actual foam midsole, you know what I mean? So there's the cushioning setup there. Moving on to the material. So the material also is a huge difference, right? So in the AR1, we have these cords, and these reinforce the upper and make it a little bit more supportive, of course. But yeah, this pair is dead stock. I have two pairs of these, and so it is not broken in. And this AR1 is actually a little bit on the stiffer side of things. It's still kind of soft, you know, but here, like, look at the AR Future. It's just way softer for the Future, right? So I do like how it's softer. I do like how it's, I guess as far as the thickness goes, they're around the same, but it's just a lot softer here for the overall material, which makes sense, right? We do have some fuse overlays, right? And it kind of comes into the top of the toe box as well here. And around kind of like the entire shoe, we have this kind of mesh material, right? And the overall design of this upper and also the overall design of the shoe is supposed to be inspired by Austin Reaves' favorite sports car. It doesn't specify what his favorite car is. That's what it says in the tech specs. I guess I can see it a little bit. And also, this is supposed to be influenced by the cooling method of cars with this mesh material. So cool, I guess. But this mesh material is actually kind of on the stiffer side of things, right? It seems like it's a little bit glued down, which makes sense because you want it to be a little bit more reinforced around the material here, right? But yeah, it feels really nice on foot. It conforms to your foot extremely well. And obviously the biggest difference is that this shoe has no laces. It's a laceless design, and where the tongue is supposed to be, right, or where the laces are supposed to be, is replaced by this really nice kind of neoprene material. There's a little bit of stretch to it, and also it's kind of thick, you know, where it has a little bit of foaminess to it, you know, so it's nice on top of your foot. So that feels pretty nice and cozy here on top of your foot. But of course, for the AR1, we have the foam beads, right? So that felt a little bit nicer on foot. So I wish they would have kept that. That would have been actually pretty cool, having that kind of like the boost pellets in the middle of the tongue right here. But yeah, it also says Austin Reaves, and we got I believe this is the Rigorer logo. But also in the ankle area, we don't have that much padding. It's literally like on the sides, it's really soft, and it's pretty much the same exact kind of neoprene material. And then here in the back where your Achilles is, there's a little bit more padding. So that feels pretty nice. And also a pretty high heel tab, which is, I guess, it's around the same, but the AR Future is a little bit higher, so that this shoe is a little bit easier to put on, right? So yeah, this shoe is supposed to be hands-free. So you can literally just put this shoe on without bending over. You know, you don't have to like squat and then tie the shoes up or whatever. You just slip the shoe on like a slide kind of, you know? And it's really easy to just slide on if you kind of open up the shoe as well, which I really like. So yeah, this is pretty much a slip-on shoe, which looks also pretty dang good in my personal opinion. And also it's really easy to take off, right? But the lockdown isn't the best, which we'll get into. But yeah, the overall material is pretty dang nice, and the AR logo is here in the back of the shoe, but it's a little bit different for the tag comparing it to the AR one, right? And now moving on to the fit, I went true to size, and this shoe fits me like a glove, right? So my toes go pretty dang close to the edge of the shoe, and it's a pretty normal to slightly narrow width for me. And also here in the toe box, it's not super snug. It's like a normal snugness, which I thought, like, you know, if I did go true to size, maybe this shoe will be a little bit harder to put on because it is going to be a snug fit, but that's actually not the case. This opens up very easily. It stretches a little bit, and you can slide your foot in very easily, even if you do go true to size. So if you do want a pretty nice snug fit, then go true to size. If you want it to be a little bit looser for a casual kind of like experience, then you can go up half the size, but you don't need to, right? So there's the fit there. Moving on to the support and lockdown. Obviously, support and lockdown doesn't really matter for casual use. However, there is a little bit of heel slippage, right? Because obviously this material is stretchy right here, so it doesn't lock down the foot, and also it doesn't lock down the heel as easily. So when I'm walking around in the shoe, my heel just slides up and down a little bit. You know what I mean? It's not terrible or anything, but I notice it. And again, it doesn't matter for casual use, but if you don't like that feeling when you're, you know, just walking around, then obviously this is not the shoe for you. But you know, I didn't really mind it all too much. So there is the lockdown, and now moving on to the weight of the shoe. I feel like this shoe, it doesn't feel super light, but I feel like it's a little bit lighter than average. Probably like 11 something. Oh, 11.05 ounces. Let's check the other shoe. 10.95 ounces. So pretty much average 11 ounces, right? The AR1 is like 12.5. Oh no, it's 11.95 ounces. So the AR Future is around an ounce lighter than the regular AR1, which that makes sense. You know, they made the upper a lot less stiff. They shed a lot of weight off the material, I believe. So yeah, it does feel pretty light. It feels minimal on foot, and also pretty dang comfortable. And the ventilation is pretty good. There's a good amount of airflow through this entire upper because it's like a screen mesh material almost, right over here in these panels with a little bit of fuse over it. So ventilation also is pretty good. Not the best, but it has pretty good airflow. And now moving on to the aesthetics, I love it. This shoe looks absolutely amazing. And if you wear like a matching color sock with the upper right here, you know, it just looks like a seamless kind of shoe. You know what I mean? So when I wear black socks with this shoe, it looks really good in my personal opinion. And usually also, I really don't like laceless designs, but for some reason, I really like it in this shoe. And all the colorways look pretty dang clean. And I think it looks better than even the AR1. You know what I mean? The AR1, obviously, it's a little bit more chaotic. We have these cords, we have this logo with this kind of like crazy material. This just looks a little bit more simple and a lot more streamlined as far as the design goes, in my personal opinion. So tell us what you guys think looks better down in the comment section below. So wrapping things up, yeah, for 80 bucks, just as like a casual shoe, I think it's great. Especially if you're a huge fan of Austin Reaves, I don't know. But if you want a really nice, comfortable shoe that's really easy to slip on and take off, maybe just, you know, taking it to the gym or something like that, this is a really nice option, and it's pleasantly surprised me. Like when I first got these, and I was like, it's whatever, you know, but you know, I was wearing it. Walking around in it's actually a really nice kind of casual shoe. And also, if you want to work out in it, you should be fine. Obviously not doing like crazy like workouts, you know, doing lateral movements, you know, if you're on the turf. But if you're just working out, lifting weights, these are also pretty dang nice for that, right? So anyways, that about concludes my review of the AR Future. Again, if you guys do want to cop either of these shoes, I'll try to leave a link in the description box. But that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.